Peace can find us in many ways. Sometimes we stumble upon it, a free moment in a busy day, or an unexpected stream rolling gently along found on a hike. Other times we have to be committed to peace in the longer term, particularly when we're fighting for justice. Sometimes peace, especially after conflict, is a hard-earned peace. Elizabeth Tarbox, in Exploring the Shades of Gray, reminds us that our mission statement doesn't call us to find the answers of faith. It also doesn't call us to explore our faith once and then finish and be done with it. No, our mission statement calls us to be continually exploring our faith, to continue to wonder and learn and grow the way we make meaning of and understand life, the universe, and everything. Let us embrace the doubt and cherish our unknowing and patiently await the dawn, she writes. This is a peace not found through certainty, but through the acceptance of uncertainty. Our human desires for answers and clarity can often lead us to a lack of peace. Exploring faith calls us to be open to what comes, not because it will necessarily change our opinion or beliefs, but because it might. It is a peace born of humility, a knowledge that we do not have all the answers, and that that's okay. Peace also arrives sometimes through the hard work of stretching ourselves beyond our comfort zones. Helmut Kramer suggests that, aware of our interdependence, we understand the world about us as both ours and everyone else's. To truly live into that aspiration, again, requires us to be humble, to make room for the other, to create a world that is truly both ours and everyone else's, asks us to include and allow for the ideas and ways of being of someone else that are different than our own. It asks of us the humility of not only knowing that I don't have all the answers, but of understanding that my way of being, my culture, is simply that, my culture, and not the only way to exist or be in the world. To approach our relationships with humility, then, especially with those who are different, thus often requires us to stretch ourselves beyond our comfort zone. When we do that, though, when we can, as Kramer suggested, acknowledge the variety of human life and seek its enlargement, we can often stretch ourselves to an inclusive peace. To live means to live together, says Kramer. Not make do, not get by, but to truly live and love together. And finally, living justice. Living justice calls us, as we explored last week, to a peace that is not, in the words of the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the absence of tension, but a peace that is the presence of justice. And sometimes, achieving that just peace requires the humility of understanding that we likely won't see the completion of the task we have set before ourselves. The women's suffrage movement in our country began in the 1840s and didn't reach its conclusion until 1920, when all the women in our country received the right to vote. That's an 80-year period. Many of those amazing women who worked tirelessly their whole lives to achieve the right to vote did not live to see it become the law of the land. Racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, and more. There is indeed much harm happening in our country right now, issues and problems that those who came before us fought lifetimes to overcome. Kathleen McTeague reminds us that we will all hold the cup filled with the courage and will that has been carried by the peacemaker in long ages before us. Humility reminds us, though, that peace may not be achieved in our lifetime, we never give up. Sometimes peace is more than a lifetime's accomplishment. When we bring a humble approach to our lives, when we bring a humble approach to meaning-making, our exploring our faith, when we bring a humble approach to the diversity of human living and our practicing inclusivity, and when we bring the humility to the long-term work of living justice into being in our world, we can truly make a difference. Peace comes in many ways and in many forms. As we enter into this holiday season where we honor a human being and teacher who taught peace and humility in all that he did, may we reflect together today on how peace can come in, through, and by practicing the art of humility. And may we bring a little bit of humility and a little bit of peace to our lives and to the world. Amen.